Okay, for the notes for today, we're still looking at square roots. Some vocab here: square root, perfect square, we just covered that. Radical sign, that's what you know as the square root sign, and the radicand is the number inside the square root sign. Okay, so we'll jump right in here. There are basically different ways to write square roots. So if you want to find the square root of 16, and it's just the symbol with the square root outside, that means you only write the positive answer. So the square root of 16 is 4. If there's a negative sign out front of the square root, then you figure out what the square root of 16 is, which is 4, and you bring out the negative sign. And then if you want both positive and negative square roots, find the square root of 16, which is 4, bring out the plus and minus sign here. That just shows it's positive 4 and negative 4 for the answer. Okay, so we'll do some examples here. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need more time to write. So 2 square roots of 49. Well, we know 7 times 7 is 49. And we also know that negative 7 times negative 7 is positive 49. So that's why we write plus or minus 7. Those are the 2 square roots. Either positive 7 or negative 7 will give you 49 when you square it. 2 square roots of 64, what times itself is 64? Well, that would be 8. So positive 8 times positive 8 is 64, and negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. For example 2, now you're trying to focus on getting the right sign. So remember, square root of 25, there's nothing out front, so all we have to do is write 5. Okay, this one, B, notice there's a negative out front, so in our final answer we're going to write that out front. Now when you have a fraction, the first thing you should do is look at the fraction. If you can change it to a whole number, then do that before you take the square root. Like for example, 10 over 5. Well, you can simplify that to be 2, but in this case 9 over 16 doesn't simplify. So what you do is figure out, well, the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, we got that from right here, 16, 4, 9, 3. And then don't forget, we have a negative out front, so that has to go right in front there. So it's negative 3/4. And last one, C. Now there's the plus or minus out front, so we'll write that at the end. Square root of 2.25, you probably need to use a calculator for this one. 2.25 square root is 1.5. So we write 1.5 and then drop down the plus or minus. Okay, what I want you to do for 1 through 6, on your own, find the answers, write them down as you go, pause the video. When you're done with 1 through 6, push play, and the answers will show up in just a couple of seconds. Okay, here are your answers for 1 through 6. Go ahead and check them and fix any that you might have got wrong. You may need to pause right now. Okay, next we're going to look at some operations with square roots. So evaluate each expression. That means to simplify the problem. Okay, and you need to use PEMDAS. Okay, but notice there are no square roots in PEMDAS. It doesn't say square, there's no letter for square roots. So square roots, you're always going to do that first. Okay, so you could really add an S in front of here. So if I look, well, I've got 5 next to the square root of 36. That really means times. 5 times the square root of 36 plus 7. So first we do the square root of 36 is 6. And then I bring down everything else. 5. Now that's not 56 because remember it's 5 times 6. I put the dot for multiplication. And then bring down plus 7. Well, 5 times 6 is 30. And bring down plus 7, you get 37. Okay, next one with operations. Look at the square root. Square root of 18 seconds. Now remember, I said if you can simplify this, do that first. 18 seconds is the same thing as 9. Okay, I have not done the square root yet, so the square root of 9 is 3. Now I'll bring down 1/4, and a fourth plus 3 is 3 and 1/4. And last one, the square root of 81 squared minus 5. Well, first do the square root of 81. The square root of 81 is 9. Bring down everything else, the squared and minus 5. Okay, now order of operations says do exponents before subtraction. 9 squared is 81. Take away 5 is 76. There's your final answer. Okay, next one. This is from last Friday when you did this. So first of all, I've got 50 squared. I need to simplify that. 50 times 50 is 2,500. Okay, I want to get x by itself, so I need to subtract 1,600 from both sides. That's gone. Subtract 1,600 here. 2,500 minus 1,600 is 900. Okay, x squared is 900, so now you have to figure out what just x is. So if you take the square root of x squared and the square root of 900, then x equals 30, because that is the square root of 900. And last one. 8 squared is 64 plus z squared equals 320. Okay, solve for z squared, so you need to subtract 64 on both sides. And 320 minus 64 is 256. Which equals z squared. Okay, take the square root of both sides. Sorry, kind of sloppy there. So z equals, if I use my calculator, 256 squared of that is 16. And there is your answer. So evaluate is just to simplify it. Okay, now what you are going to do is 7 through 9 on your own. Go ahead, work the problems out. When you're done, you can push play on the video and check your answers. So push pause right now and solve 7 through 9. Okay, here are your answers for 7 through 9. Go ahead and check them. And we are actually going to skip example 4. So once you have reached this point, you should go ahead, shut your computer down nicely, put it away, put your headphones away, and grab a homework sheet from the guest teacher.